Print, email, Facebook, Twitter. More Ebola outbreak in Democratic Republic of Congo likely to be contained. Experts say an outbreak of the Ebola virus in the Democratic Republic of Congo in Central Africa has claimed more than 24 lives in the past fortnight, and authorities have today begun administering a preventative vaccine to hundreds of people deemed to be at risk. But a team of researchers led by scientists at the University of Queensland say a treatment they have developed could dramatically assist efforts to contain the virus and, with further research, cure those infected. Virologist Yin Xiang-Sito said trials using monkeys, carried out by his team in 2016 in collaboration with researchers in France and Russia, showed encouraging results, but they had not been able to progress to testing on humans. "We have come up with a low-cost, highly scalable method," he told the PM program. "What we have found was that antibodies administered to affected animals, in our case, we tested it in monkeys, post-exposure, actually protected the monkeys and prevented fatality." There have been dozens of outbreaks of Ebola since it was first detected in 1976, with the deadliest spate originating in West Africa in 2014 and claiming 11,000 lives worldwide. Since then, Ebola fatalities have been largely restricted to the African continent, and Dr. Yin thinks that partly explains why his team has failed to secure funding for further research. With Ebola always only affecting the really poor countries, that's probably really the biggest reason why it hasn't been uptaken, he said. Ebola made to be contained. The Ebola virus works by dismantling its host's immune system, turning the body's antiviral functions against it and eventually corroding veins, arteries and internal organs, with some strains showing a fatality rate of 90%. Ebola is spread via bodily fluids, and in the 2014 West African Ebola outbreak, cultural practices like washing the bodies of the deceased before burial are thought to have hastened its spread. Ben Newman, who is the head of biology at Texas A&M University Texarkana, told the ABC's Signal podcast he was more optimistic about efforts to contain the current outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo than he was about the case in West Africa. The situation in West Africa was that when the WHO, World Health Organization, and Doctors Without Borders were going in, they had to travel with security. They had doctors being threatened, and the people were very hostile to essentially foreign people coming in and trying to take over, he said. There aren't any reports so far of that happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So really there are initially good prospects for how this could unfold. Professor Newman added that because Ebola was spread slowly, the prospects of containing the latest outbreak were good. Ebola is slow and it's fragile and it has no way to jump from person to person except by direct contact, he said. And not even ordinary contact, but contact with bodily fluids. And so you really have to be caring for someone or potentially at the funeral of someone who has died from Ebola and making a lot of contact with the body for that to spread. It's really made to be contained. Congolese authorities know what they need to do. The WHO has this week begun administering vaccines in the Democratic Republic of Congo, starting in the northwestern city of Mbandaka, a provincial capital with a similar population to Perth or Adelaide. The initial targets of the vaccination program are health workers and family members of the deceased, and more than 4,000 doses have already been shipped to the country from WHO headquarters in Switzerland. The WHO admits the fact the Ebola outbreak has spread in the past 2 weeks from a remote part of the country to an important administrative center is cause for concern. But, speaking from Geneva, WHO spokesman Tarik Jasarevic told The Signal the initial response to the outbreak had been as good as could be expected. One of the big differences is that West African health systems had not known Ebola epidemics before, Mr. Jasarevic said. You had health workers who were not trained to deal with the Ebola virus, and those health systems were also very weak. Here, the Democratic Republic of Congo has experience with Ebola, so they know what they need to do. And really from day one they have started to coordinate all the partners to make sure all pieces are carried out as fast as possible.